Welcome to the People of Rochester podcast, where Madison is not here tonight, and I do not know her intro, so I'm giving my own intro. We're actually meeting with somebody that's not from Rochester, somebody that just is here in Rochester for the first time, and they get to share their journey of one day in the great city of Rochester. How did I do?
You did great.
Yes.
Sounds very good for on the fly.
I could be like a professional DJ. You should see me spit bars. I'm like really good.
You should. That'd be good.
Let's start it off. Intros. You get to introduce yourself. How does that sound?
Okay. Sounds cool. My name is Amy. I do not live in Rochester. I currently live in Hamel, which is a very small city west of the Twin Cities. And I'm here with my friend Janice, who I've known for almost 25 years.
Wow.
She's got stories. We got stories.
25 years of stories.
Yeah.
They're going to come out tonight on the podcast.
They might. And Amy is out here visiting for the weekend. So what better way to talk about her experience that we've had so far this weekend. So
When did the adventure start for Rochester?
yesterday.
Well, last night about 8 o'clock when I rolled into town.
Like, did you see Mayo for the first time and go, what the heck is that place?
You know what? Janice gave me the grand tour of the Mayo campuses. And I had been here before. Never realized that was the Mayo campus.
It's big.
It's huge.
It's big. We just drove around it. So like you can't really like go in and actually really experience it. But just from driving around, I mean, it's huge.
You don't have a campus like that in Hamel?
No.
You have maybe like what, a gas station?
No, we don't have a gas station.
Oh, you don't have a gas
That's
station?
in Medina. That's on the other side of the highway.
Oh.
You must have a bar.
There is a bar.
I was going to say,
yeah.
if there's not a gas station, there's at least a bar, right?
Everyone probably knows it if they've ever been west of Plymouth, in Cahoots.
That's the name of the bar?
That is the bar in Hamel.
In Cahoots. I've actually never heard of that.
That's
There's
actually-
one road in Hamel Road. That's where the bar is.
There's one road. There's houses, a bar, and then you drive past that, and then where do you head?
To any other city other than Hamel.
It reminds me of my parents grew up in Winona, and I can't remember what town it was, but they would always joke, say, if you blink, you'll miss it. And whatever town we were driving through, It reminds me of that.
Yeah, so today we took a little adventure. We went for a hike. We went to Whitewater. So how was that experience for you today? You've never been to Whitewater before.
Living in Winona for 5 years, I never went to Whitewater. Not sure why. Beautiful. There's a lot of stairs. A lot of stairs.
I was very, I kept telling you, we just got a little bit more to go. A little bit more to go.
And then she'd get up to the top of the next set of stairs and start laughing because there's another set of stairs.
There's a bit more to go. A little bit more to go.
Yeah.
So you rolled in last night at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
You got the tour of Mayo this morning?
Last night.
Last night?
yeah.
Okay, so you drove around last night. I gotcha.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. So she came in and, we loaded her stuff in and I said, okay, we're going to wait till traffic dies down a little bit. So apparently traffic in Rochester obviously is so different than the traffic you experience. So when I said we're going to let the traffic just die down, because, there's
Shift change.
Well, yeah, there's shift change. So there seems to be a lot more traffic after shift change at the hospital.
8 o'clock on a Friday night.
So anyways, and with all the construction, it can get back up easy. And we went out, there was like no one out there. But for
No
me,
cars.
like that was just like a normal thing to say, like, let's just wait a little bit till
Wait a little bit for traffic
just die down. And
That's so funny. Yeah. The only time I personally think of traffic is 5 o'clock, and being downtown. I'm like,
yeah.
I need to go any way but Civic Center. Or
Yeah. Yeah. See, because when I come into work, there's that kind of beginning of shift change for nurses. So like there's a ton of people leaving, but also a ton of people coming. And then you have it again at like 3 o'clock and then at between 7 and 8 o'clock. So when I say traffic, that's what I mean by
And I think
nurses coming in and out of their shift.
I was going to say, I think you being in the Mayo system of just being an employee there, when those shifts are.
Yeah.
And I just have no idea. So I don't even think of it. That's
when you
funny.
think of when I think of traffic, I think of rush hour traffic on 494 in Bloomington, where it's, bumper to bumper, and it takes you 20 minutes to go 2 miles.
I guess that's traffic.
So traffic did die down.
Yep, there was.
You drove around the campus.
Yep, drove around the campus.
Yeah.
The best that we could. I mean, there's still some things that are like blocked off that you can't go.
So this morning you woke up and then you went for the hike?
Yep.
So then after you got done with the whitewater adventure, did you make it back to Rochester or did you?
We did.
We did. We landed back at Janikie's apartment to freshen up from being extra sweaty.
From scaling the mountains of whitewater.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And then we decided, since it had been probably 8 years since I have been to Newt's, I decided I deserved extra calories after practically dying on a hike. So we had to go to Newt's.
What'd you get from Newt's?
It's Rochester famous Newt's.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the multiple billboards on the way in.
On the way in. I did not see the burger that I had, and I was really looking forward to seeing that billboard, but maybe it's somewhere else.
So it wasn't I feel like I'm trying to think of the different ones. The cowboy, there's one with the cowboy hat. I can't think of what that is. What one would you have got? The one with the peanut butter?
No, but I have had that one before.
That's good.
It was good.
The peanut butter burger is good.
I had the Mike D's fatty melt. I don't know. It's delicious. It's 2 grilled cheese sandwiches with a burger in between them.
Oh, nice.
Delish.
There's got to be a story behind that. I wonder what that story is. Mike D's, I mean, that's
A drunken night of
I
let's
can
make a
only
sandwich.
imagine.
Yeah.
he's
I don't have
the
any
guy that comes
buns.
into the bar downtown and he's like, make me my sandwich. And that became Mike D's sandwich on the menu.
Yep.
That's great. You got to go to Newt's when you come to town.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what one did you pick? Because there's now so many Newt's. There used to just be the one main one.
We went to the south one.
So were you surprised as to how Rochester has changed in any way, just seeing the difference of
Yeah.
what you remember it as?
Yeah. I feel like as soon as I came into Rochester, there's huge new apartment building, like right on the edge of town that's just like, bam, in the middle of nowhere.
We all know what one you're talking about. That one gets the most comments when you come
It's like
on 52.
blindingly white to begin with. I mean, there is a lot of construction downtown. When I came here, I mean, I would go over to the mall. 'Cause, Winona doesn't have a mall, so we'd hike over to the Apache Mall. I mean, it seems like there's new construction everywhere, absolutely everywhere. But then again, there's also a ton of vacant buildings, like this whatever Kmart or whatever. That is over there.
Yep.
Like all vacant over there. But
Changes.
yeah, lots of changes. There's a giant rubble pile close to Janikie's apartment.
That's the old Post Bulletin, right?
Yeah, right across from the Civic Center there.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing is a town that has got a lot of excited investors to put money into our community to do different projects. And so, like, for example, the Post Bulletin site was bought by a local investor that doesn't have a specific plan, but is just getting it to where it's a clean site, and then who knows what the future might bring. And the Kmart, same thing. Investor buys it with a hope of something exciting in the future, but no set plan.
Right.
And just so happens to rent half of it to Mayo for parking because Mayo just needs parking everywhere.
That's the one thing about Rochester's parking. Like
More parking ramps.
more parking ramps. We need that.
You really think so?
As far as, because I feel like certain times of the day, like for employees, like it's so hard to find parking if you don't get that slotted time to park in the ramp for your shift. Like if you're a day shifter, a lot of times you're forced to have to commute on a shuttle. But if you work like the evening shift or even, overnights, that ramp is open at least until 4 a.m. So
You don't have those problems in Hamel, do you?
No, especially because I work from home now.
There's plenty of parking.
It's also a really weird time to be exploring with COVID happening.
Yeah, you got to be a little more cautious. Did you wear your mask then into Newts?
Yes. It was required.
Right.
Janicky told me not to sneeze in public.
I
Make
said
it awkward fast.
I said don't sneeze in Rochester. You're not allowed to sneeze in Rochester anymore.
So funny. I had to sneeze today, and I was outside, and there was someone by me, and that went through my mind. I'm like, I have allergies. Like,
Yeah.
but I was like, do I take my mask down or do I keep my mask up? Now I'm outside. They're not
contain
very
my-
close. I really don't want to get my mask that dirty.
Yeah.
I kept it up. And I feel like I tried to hide it.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that fly?
So since you've been here in Rochester, what's been your favorite thing so far?
I did really enjoy the hiking and all the lookout points that we stumbled across, and the fact that we did not get hurt.
That's a positive day.
Yeah. There's always a possibility for that.
At least you got mail like close by it.
Yeah. I think I'm set if I were to get hurt.
If you want to get hurt anywhere, it's probably close to Rochester.
Yeah.
Or what have people talked about? If you know, and I'd be curious that outsider's perspective of like, yeah, that's happening in Rochester. Like, what's happening in Rochester?
I feel like a lot of people think of Rochester and they just think of the mail. Mm-hmm. They don't think of it as anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge city.
Could you ever see yourself living in like a big city like this? Or are you kind of like that small town feel?
I do really like the small town. I like having the ability to have land.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not an apartment person.
My parents grew up on like 2 acres, which is land.
Yeah.
And then I've lived downtown, and there's something to be said about sharing walls with people. In my last place that I lived, which I was just moving out today, it was the middle of the night, and all of a sudden I heard this thump. And I have this 80-year-old neighbor, 84, 85. She's old. Ricky. She's awesome. She makes me chocolate cake once in a while. I'm like, wake up to it, and I'm like, what the heck? Thump. So I'm like, I got to check on her. So I go over and I knock on the door. No answer. Thump. I'm like, Ricky, are you okay? No answer. So I go, it's in a hotel. There's condos above this hotel.
Yep.
So then I go to the hotel desk. I'm like, I need your help. I'm going to go back up to her door, pound the heck out of it. And like, she may need help. I think she's on the ground hitting the wall, and she needs help, right? So we knock on the door. Ricky. It's like 3 o'clock. It's early. Yeah. I said, are you okay? Yeah. What are you doing? I'm just cleaning my carpet mat. She's hitting her mat. Cleaning it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, Ricky. And she like then comes to the door. She's like, is everything okay? I'm like, I thought you had fallen down and like hit the wall. You're hitting the wall to get help. Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, people are right next to you.
What a thing to do at 3 a.m.
So let's say Rochester, if you were to think what it needs, is there anything in your mind that you would wish to see in a Rochester that other big communities have?
Do they have semi-professional hockey or anything cool like that?
We do. The Grizzlies, are they semi-professional?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to hockey.
Oh.
Mustangs. We had the Mustangs at one point, and then I feel like there was some other team.
Yeah, now they're called the Grizzlies.
Oh.
So we do have a men's hockey team.
Oh, okay.
So,
But we've
play on
never got
Fridays.
past that from my knowledge, right? We've always had the semi-pro, but we've never got that next
yeah.
pro, because that all goes to Minneapolis.
Yeah. Yep.
We have the Honkers, which is like a AAA baseball team, and
So-
sometimes those players could go up to the MLB.
Okay, so like that's similar to like the St. Paul Saints.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so. Yeah. What about like restaurants? Or
Well, there's a lot of restaurants here.
There is, isn't it?
There really is, and they have a lot of variety.
Pittsburgh Blue.
I had went there pre-COVID, and yeah, it was a good happy hour menu.
Yeah.
So
I like happy hour.
it's a cool atmosphere too. It's like high-end steakhouse, you know, and they have their kind of bar area, but then they have the fine dining area, which is off to the side.
Yep.
We used to have Michael's way back when, and Michael's, the one thing I loved about that is you'd go in and there would be pictures of all the famous people that had come to town and went into Michael's. That feel is just a fun atmosphere.
Nice.
So it kind of has that feel,
Yep.
but newer, a lot newer.
Yeah.
Have you heard of any other names that just stand out restaurant-wise? Newt's is like it. It is. Like they market the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Newt's and Chipotle.
Yeah. Right. I think that shows, marketing on 52 and getting people's attention as they're coming into town gets them kind of like, what is that?
Yeah. Why does that hamburger have a Mexican hat on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We, speaking of Mexican restaurants, like we have a ton here, and we have all those like taco trucks.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of food trucks, and I don't know if that's just because of the COVID stuff, and they're really pushing to
Yeah, I think you're right.
expand that. But when we were driving around today, I did notice quite a few, and those intrigue me. I mean, they're usually really good food.
It's interesting too, downtown, sometimes during the week, there'll be just a line of food trucks just lined up downtown over by, I think, towards the Baldwin building. So when I was a student, we'd have lunch break and we'd just walk out there and they had different types of food trucks. So I don't think it's necessarily just because of COVID. I think food trucks have kind of always been a part of Rochester.
I think they're more...
But I think they're expanding.
They're bigger now because of COVID, because they don't need to have the sit down 6 feet away. Like, we're just going to come park here for the day and we're going to blast it out on our Twitter or Facebook page, and our customers will come to us.
Yeah.
So.
And they're reasonably priced. That's what I like too.
Yeah.
They're not sit down restaurant price, which is nice.
Right.
I've heard of these things called ghost kitchens. I don't know exactly how they work besides they're in big cities. And let's say, I'm just guessing, let's say you could have a restaurant operator that's in there for 3 years that it's a kitchen, but no sit down, and a majority of it's delivery. And then eventually that restaurant operator expands or goes out of business, whatever the case is, a new person comes into that kitchen. Again, though, it's all delivery, and it's not people coming to your location.
No face-to-face.
Yep, they could be in a warehouse with
Crazy.
a commercial kitchen, and it's all marketing it as a brand.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
We'll see if that ever comes to Rochester. We do have a food hall coming. Have you ever heard of a food hall?
Well,
It's like a food court.
yeah, and
But-
like the International Market or whatever it is up in Minneapolis, where you walk around and it's like little venue or little storefronts, basically, of restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So we
awesome.
have one coming on 3rd Avenue across from the Corn Cob.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's like 6 or 7 food vendors will be in there, and then they'll have a big bar, and it's in an old warehouse.
Okay.
And it'll just be a fun atmosphere, and they have plenty of outdoor seating and different than what we've seen in town.
In Minneapolis, well, at the beginning of the COVID stuff, when they first started opening restaurants again, they were shutting down full streets just so the restaurants could pull their tables out and people can eat outside.
Doing it here.
Yeah. I mean,
But they would
Aside-
do both sides.
yeah, both sides. The whole street would be shut down.
Wow.
It's really cool. We have Kathy's Pub. Have you ever been to Kathy's?
Oh, yeah.
They they have a rooftop, and when you go at the right time, when it's like super dark out, and they have their lights going. But if you can get the perfect view of like the Plummer Building, lit up in the background, so it's really cool.
Janicki really likes the skyline of Rochester.
Tell us more, Janicki.
There's not much to tell.
Well, you're driving down 52 and you can see both campuses of Mayo.
Yeah,
at
that was an
night.
experience.
She had to show me that last night.
It is cool.
It is, yeah.
And it's getting added to.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a new building. And
Yeah. And when we were walking in today, you saw, I don't know, could you see a little bit? We saw the helicopter land.
Oh,
yeah.
that's-
yeah. Pointed that one out.
Yeah.
I just
Did
heard
you notice
it.
the huge tower that's right next door, the Berkman, the big tower, the apartment building?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just brand new too.
Yeah.
300 apartment units in one building,
right next to the helicopter pad.
right next to the helicopter
Helicopter
pad. It kind of looks like Mayo. I think for people coming from outside of Rochester, you're like, oh, it's probably just part of Mayo, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
a lot of apartments in one place,
Yeah. I think there's a pool on top too,
probably.
like a rooftop pool. And
I know they have like a dog area. You can bring your dog outside and you can use the restroom, and then they have the drains where it like drains some
Oh, yeah, where it's like artificial grass almost.
yeah.
Yeah.
way over my pay grade. How do they do that? No one knows.
I have real.
I will not be living there.
So after this podcast, because Janicki was nice enough to just bring you on an adventure and say we're doing a podcast. Like,
Yeah, she notified me yesterday.
yeah. Oh, by the way,
Yeah. I'm all about adventure and surprises.
That's cool.
So I couldn't really tell you what was going on.
So now 30 minutes into the podcast, what do you think about podcasting? Because this is your first time probably podcasting too.
Yeah, I've never podcasted. I listen to my fair share of podcasts as I'm working. But they're usually like true crime or really funny things. I don't know.
I've listened to the true crime ones. That's good stories.
Oh, yeah.
How do you do it while you're working? What do you work?
Where do I work?
Yeah.
Well, I work for a company called LVC Companies. We're
Low voltage contractors?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We actually have an office here in Rochester, which we're trying to expand.
Robbie Danko.
Yeah, she's our marketing manager.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I actually am the payroll coordinator. So I do
Okay.
payroll for everyone. And I'm 100% working from home. I think I'm going to have to do a supply run next week, but I might wait it out another week. I don't know.
Supply run.
Like go to the office and pick up a couple extra reams of paper and like
We have a Walmart and a Costco here if you're interested.
Well,
You're
yeah,
here.
I mean, I live across the highway from a Target, but
Oh, okay.
But we have Target here too. This
So
is
you're
the
saying
Rod.
you're going to go to the office and get their stuff.
yeah, because then I don't have to expense it. And
But this is the Rochester Target though.
which
You
one?
came to
With
Rod-
the liquor store.
With the liquor store.
Which one?
So when low voltage contractors came to town, I was asking you how you listen to true crime, but now I can
Oh,
see it.
yeah,
You're like
it's
in your
like-
house and you're playing it.
I'm
you're
just like
making lunch.
analyzing payroll as I'm, listening to stuff. I'm trying to zone out the fact that I have 2 dogs that constantly want to go outside or be fed. So I just like crank up a podcast or something just to zone out. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll be focused on that, but most of the time I'm focused on my work and I completely ignore that, but I just need background noise.
I'm with you. I need background noise too.
I wish I could have background noise.
You put
You can't have
earbuds
them?
in.
Too difficult?
I push my office around, and I can't. I wish I could play
You
music.
guys with bikes and girls with bikes with the Bluetooth mounted to the front, you can just like turn it on.
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? We could get you a little Bose.
Here's
set
Strobe
there.
light. Yeah.
Here comes strobe light Janicki rolling down the aisle.
Order the ice cream. Here's the ice cream. Yeah, we were having my niece's birthday party, and all of a sudden you could hear the noise of the ice cream truck, and like ice cream truck. Sure enough, came around the corner.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I was like Janicki with the helicopter. Where is that?
Oh, you can hear
there
it.
it is.
You can hear the
Yep.
of the wings. It's pretty loud.
So, question for you. So, how would your sleep? Because you live in the country or somewhat in the country, more quiet, probably not as loud. But how would you rate your sleep here in Rochester? Because it is a busy city with sirens and all that.
But the sirens and stuff, they don't really bother me because before I lived in Hamel, I lived basically downtown Buffalo. We're like, I don't know, 2 blocks away from the police station and one of the fire departments. So hearing the sirens and stuff, it's just another thing.
You're used to that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I had to get adjusted to. Because when I was living in Delano at my parents, we were in the country. We were neighbors growing up too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'd
If you
be
heard
lucky if we could.
sirens, it was like, oh my gosh, what happened on Highway 12?
Yeah, but we'd be lucky if we heard the tornado sirens out there.
Yeah. My
mean-
tornado warning was my dad watching out the window like, yeah, we should probably go downstairs now.
And so, living here and being so close to downtown, I mean, those sirens, it's something you have to get used to because you're just,
Do you zone them out now where it's just like
oh, yeah.
background noise for you?
Yeah. We, when I went to Duluth a couple weekends ago, we're like, all right, we're going to get kind of out of the big city. We're going to go
To
camping.
another big city.
Well, we were camping, nice and quiet. And, but, I think wherever you go, you're going to hear some type of sirens. It's almost like you can hear it. Like you can just pick it up. Like they could be miles and miles away and it's like a sense that you have like,
Sonar.
yeah. And then sure enough, it was a Mayo Clinic ambulance there it went. So all the way out in Duluth. So, but yeah.
Because Mayo's everywhere.
Mayo is everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Would you recommend Rochester for people to visit?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff around here. A lot. And even if you're just traveling by foot. Hey, there's plenty to do, plenty of things to see.
It's interesting. So, I've lived here for 3 years, and this is the first time she's been able to come out and like be able to visit. So
It's fun being the tour guide, as I would call it too.
yeah, it is. Even though 3 years isn't a lot of time, because there's still so much even for myself to like learn about Rochester and do in Rochester. But I felt like I was able to show you a lot, even though it's been such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll come back.
Oh, yeah.